Okay, guys, we're back and we're about to start working on some text with Design Space app on our iPad. This will also work on your phones, but I like the iPad. It's a little bit bigger. Android cannot upload fonts, but there are other programs in our group resource guide. That being said, in our group resource guide, we have tons of font affiliates that we trust and we use. Be careful when you're out here searching the net and getting fonts. Next, I know that when we're working here, you're going to be seeing some of these foiling projects. And I said in the previous video, you could not use the knife blade and the foiling tool in on a mobile device in design using those tools. But you see them here, and I know you see them here. If you click on it, it's going to look like it's going to open up and you can see everything. But when you hit customize, you're going to get unable to open. When you hit make it, you're going to get unable to open. And that's because it is not compatible, even though you see them there. So I didn't want anybody to be confused by that, seeing them on screen here. You have to use the desktop app at this time for foiling and for the knife blade. Second, make sure that you're got your machine set up and your account set up, and if your machine set up properly and you're on Bluetooth, your power button will be blue. I forgot to tell you that. It will be blue, and if it's not, you need to pair it up again, and the pairing code will still be 0000. Okay, so let's move on to text. So you want a design and you want some different text instead of Design Space fonts. How do you do that? I use the AnyFont app and I use a Unicode app. The first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to come in and go to AnyFont. Now you're going to see, you're going to see font bundles here. You're going to see a ton of others. I appreciate you guys using my links and my affiliate links and helping support me to make videos and files and all that stuff for you guys. But if you click on these links here, I will not get anything. And that's okay. That's perfectly fine. I know it's quick and it's easy. But if you do take the time to open up one of my links in the browser, I greatly appreciate it. And those links are down below. I don't get anything for this app. I don't get anything for any apps, but these are the apps that I use. There may be others out there that work similar. Pick one that you like, okay? And I'm just going to hit the big plus sign, and you're going to see all of these. I use Hungry JPEG. I use Font Bundles as my go-to. Creative Fabrica as my other go-to. I have used Hungry JPEG and DaFont. I don't use these others. I just don't. Be careful when you're looking on DaFont. Make sure you're on DaFont.com and not DaFont.net, which is like a copycat site, I guess you would say. But you want to be careful. Now, I'm just going to use the font that everybody likes, which is a Misty font, which is I Love Glitter. Remember, if you are selling, you need to buy the licensed, and you can get that over at Font Bundles. I believe you can get it at Creative Fabrica as well. But here is the I Love Glitter. DaFont fonts are sample fonts. They are for personal use only. If you read the README files on the inside, you will see that. Now they are putting here on there free for personal use. So make sure that you are understanding that if you're selling items, you have to have a licensed copy of your fonts as well as your images. Okay? So we're just going to hit download. And it's going to download. Boom. Done. We're going to say OK. We're just going to close that. Now here's my I Love Glitter font. Don't ask me while it's doing two. It must have had two profiles. And that's okay. So what we're going to do next is hit the arrow going to the right. And then you're going to see this install. And I'm going to use the OTF font. That's one it's going to pick for me on my iPad. If there's not an OTF available, it will pick the TTF. That's okay. And we're just going to say install. And now you're going to hit allow if you get this. It's going to depend on how you're set up. And now it's telling me that the profile was downloaded, or the file itself was downloaded. So we're going to say okay. And then it tells me to go to Settings, General, and Profiles. So I'm going to click Done. And I'm just going to get that out of the way, and I'm going to go to my settings. And this may be blocked. Some of this may be blocked for you guys. I have to protect my information. And you're going to select Profile Downloaded. And you're going to see it right there. And you can remove it if you've changed your mind, or you can click Install. Again, it's going to be blurred while I put my code in. Let's see. There we go. And now you see that it is bringing up the configuration, and this installs that font. And we're going to say Next. It's going to say the profile is not signed. It may say it's signed. It may say it's not signed. I really don't know what that is for, but anyway, I'm just going to hit Install. I trust it. And then Install again. Now I can click Done, and my font is installed. There it is. Boom. Right there. And now we're going to close that out and go back to Design Space. I don't have a lot of fonts that I have installed on my iPad, and I'm just going to say it's because I do most of my work on my computer. Okay? If I'm going to need a font on my iPad, then I will install it on my iPad. But I do not design a lot on my iPad, so therefore they're not here. It just takes up space. If I make a project using those letters or that font and I do not weld it into an image, then I cannot open it on my desktop unless I have that font installed on my desktop. So if you don't weld it and make it an image and it's going in as a font, then you have to install it on each device you plan to use it on. Okay? Just so you know. So if you want to just create your image and then weld your image, which is not changeable after that, then you can open it on all your devices. All right, so now let's just go over and take a peek. Grab some text down here at the bottom left. And I am going, you've got your Cricut fonts, you got your system fonts, and you got all fonts, okay? And then I'm just going to start typing I love. I didn't put a space. I love glitter. There's my font. So I'm going to select it. And let's just put the word create. And now I know if I hold my shift key and hit that line, it should give me my heart. Which I know this because I just, from using the font. If you go to mistyfonts.com, it will tell you which keyboard things use to get these extra glyphs and stuff. What do you do on fonts that don't have the keyboard for the extra fonts? For instance, I believe it's a parentheses. That gives me the open heart. No, it gives me the tail, the swash. So, I mean, if the keyboard doesn't have it, how do you get to those? Unicode. And that is an app. Let me show you that really quick. Sorry about that little delay, guys. I had to go and find my Unicode app. It was buried in all my apps here. But you can get that from the App Store. You're going to go to Unicode. And you're going, once it opens up, you're going to browse fonts. And then select the font you want. I love glitter. And there it is. And you can see all of the glyphs. Now, if I wanted, let's say, I don't know, oops, let's go back. Let's say I wanted this E. I'm going to select it, and then I'm going to hit the forward, and I am going to share the glyph, and then we're going to hit copy, okay? And then we're going to go back over to Design Space, and I already have some text in there. I can bring up another one. And it doesn't really matter. There we go. I'm going to take that out. Type the word create. And then I'm just going to paste in that E that I wanted. So you can go in and do that very easily with the two apps, one to install, one to get your glyphs on any fonts that have those extras. Okay, so that's going to finish up with what you can do on downloading your fonts and using them in Design Space. So let's cover some of the text tools while we're here. Again, you've got off fonts, you've got system fonts, and you've got your Cricut fonts. And it's going to show you what fonts are available and show you what they look like if they're Cricut fonts. It may show you some of your system fonts and how they look. Yeah, a few of them. Some of them may not have that capability. Okay, the I Love Glitter does. You can see it there. And then, of course, you have all fonts where you can search all of them. Okay, so you can search 3 different ways. And we're just going to go next to actions. Let's take a look at a couple of the actions. You can see that you have ungroup, attach, weld, flatten, duplicate, and advanced available for your font. You can edit it you can come over here and change the font name if you want. You can pick your style, which is regular on this. If bold or italics or any of that is available, it will be there. If it's a writing font, all of that. Then you have your alignment. If you have more than, if you want it to align right, left, if you have several lines, then it will work. You can also size it here. Your letter space, it is the same as on a computer. You're going to minus to bring those letters together and make them touch. And then if they don't touch and you need to bring them in, you can see that my C and my R are good, but my A and my E and my A and my T are not. So there I'm going to go back over here to Actions and ungroup it. I think. Nope. There we go. And then it should give me my individual boxes. I'm going to go back to Edit, and then you can see that I can just kind of slide these over. And you see those yellow grid lines popping up? And I'm just holding it down to make it select the next 2 letters. Let's get those in there. And then I've got both of those. And now I'm going to drag my box, get the 3, and I'm just going to scoot that in. Oops, missed it, didn't I? Just going to slide them together, which is a little easier than it is on the computer because you do have your grid lines. And I am intentionally going to move that one too far. So now I have it all, and I've got it selected. And I'm in here. I'm going to go back. If you need to align bottom or any of that, you can do all of that here. Everything. I can change its color to red or blue. Let's go blue and apply. And then I'm going to go back to my actions and I'm going to weld it. And it didn't do it on the iPad, but sometimes you can see the part of that T and that E. If you're on a computer, or sometimes I don't know if I've ever seen it happen on the iPad, but in case it does, if it fills in your E and blacks that out, just back off your letter just a little bit, okay? And I don't have these perfectly lined up for the tutorial, but you get the drift there. So you have all of your actions and edits and color syncing, all of that kind of stuff is available over here. In your layers panel, it shows that it's welded. I can duplicate it, I can hide one, or I can send it to the trash, which I sent the duplicate to the trash. So if it's available, it's going to be highlighted for you, and we're going to get more into these tools as the videos go, but you can see once you've got your text what tools are available for text in there. Okay, so that covers text, what you can do. Remember, you don't have a curve tool in mobile. If you want to curve text and have those extra tools, those are in the desktop app. So let's go ahead and move over to the next video.